Greetings, everyone. My name is Valencia James, and I am a Black femme with dark brown skin and narrow oval face. I'm wearing a multicolored headscarf and a black and white top. I'm very happy to present our project, Volumetric Performance Toolbox, which is a collaboration between myself, a performing and movement artist, and creative technologist Thomas Wester, Ben Purdy, Thomas Newlands, and Sorab Louis. In this slide, we see a depth image of a femme body in motion with her left elbow to the side. Our starting question was, how could there be new dance creation and performance in the time of COVID when theaters have been closed? In the past couple months, we have been researching how any movement artist could create a performance in their own living space for a virtual audience of real people using minimal equipment. Today, we have a working proof of concept, and we presented 4 work in progress showings for live test audiences. In this slide, we have volumetric performance, our vision. There are 3 bulletin points: live performance capture from artist living space, artist and audience accessibility across devices, and Black femme representation in online spaces. And first, we set out to find how to capture an artist in their living space in a way that represents their true physical appearance. As a Black femme performer, this is really important, as performance and virtual spaces tend to be oversaturated by white cisgendered male creators and users. Our second consideration was, how can we make this platform accessible via web browser and readily available on devices that don't require special gaming equipment? And this is important so that the performance can be accessible beyond regular gaming and virtual reality users. We chose Mozilla Hubs as that platform that meets the criteria. And thirdly, we're considering the accessibility of this technology for the artists, which they would require coding skills and large budget and team. And so we have developed a lightweight capture kit that comprises of inexpensive hardware that could be shipped to artists, and as well as a live stream capture software that would be made available publicly on an open source repository. So in this slide, we have an image of our process. And we have on the left a still with, you can see Thomas Wester. He's being via Zoom, we connect for the work in progress. And he's based in Portland, Oregon. I'm based in Redwood City, California. And we have a computer setup with an Azure Connect depth camera. On the right, you can see my video of me improvising in my living room. On the top is a regular video, on the bottom is a depth video. And this is just how we approach this. How can we make a bare bones performance so that the creative process can inform the technical development? And I started with a practice of improvising around the theme of my Afro Now, which for me is about being in close connection with my ancestors. And these improvisations and seeing them, the depth kit recordings that I was doing gave an interesting out-of-body experience, watching myself from different angles. And it became very obvious that I also need to consider the scene in which I will be dancing in an immersive web space, and how can I build that easily. We are still working on this, but I came across CIARC scans of World Heritage Sites, which brought me to the Annenberg Sugar Mill in the US Virgin Islands, and I felt a very strong connection to this, and we were able to use this because it's open source. And for me, this became about creating dances in immersive web space that centers around the idea of reclaiming historical physical spaces through acts of affirmation and healing in virtual environments. And here's a clip of this. Sorry. Here we see the audience as avatars in Mozilla Hubs and dancing in the point cloud scan of the sugar mill in brightly colored clothes. My movements are very expansive and my arms stretch out. I trace the space. This was a beautiful time of interaction with the audience. We had a beautiful feedback. An audience member said she felt a sense of intimacy in the space, and we also could have a Q&A session within the hub space after the showing. Our next steps would be to make sure that the tools and methods are accessible to artists. We want to make a series of workshops so that artists can get to learn how we have done this and also start being able to make their own performances. It's very important for us to include a large cross-section of the dance community, and we're placing priority on Black, Indigenous, and people of color, the LGBTQ community, and disabled artists, so that the design will be the most inclusive through a collaborative process, and that we'll be able to build this in community. We're also looking for 3D designers with Spoke and Hub's experience, and also Blender, to join us. And so please feel free to reach out at volumetricperformance@gmail.com if you'd like to be a part of this process. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you very much.